Hello, and welcome to Seinfeld Fantasy Camp, the place to be for living out all your Seinfeld fantasies. Hi, I'm Brian.
Beat it, Brian. Beat it.
Oh, hi, Craig.
It's Greg.
You ready for a super terrific happy hour?
You better believe it.
Easy to beat. Let's get it going, baby.
Let's do it.
How you been?
I have been busy, but good. As you can see, my Seinfeld swag is not in full swing this episode, but I'm doing with what I can. I think next time I'll be in Amsterdam, so it should be a good little segue. We'll just do a different spot every time and see where it goes.
Now, is that in Holland?
I don't know if it's called Holland. I mean, what is Holland?
The Netherlands?
But who are the Dutch?
I feel like we butchered that pretty bad, but you knew what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah. It was a good segue. I liked it.
When we were talking last week about, the different countries that we were talking about, Tuscany, or I think I might have mentioned Burma, but tell the people about your connections with the Netherlands and the Dutch.
Yeah. So the company I work for is based in the Netherlands. So I'm over there quite often. And a funny story, actually, I was in a meeting and someone mentioned something about people being confused about the difference between Holland and the Netherlands. It was a totally just no Seinfeld reference, but someone over there that I was talking to was like, yeah, people are confused about, Holland and why it's called Holland. And here's the history. And they were like explaining it to me. And I was like, hold on a second. I brought up the YouTube clip of that, the opening scene to that episode of Seinfeld, and they were like dying laughing. They're like, yeah, exactly. Like, this is totally what we deal with. And I'm like, yes, this is why Seinfeld is awesome, because they just find those little everyday things that people have questions about. And how about you? What have you been up to, man? I know you. I think you've been quite busy.
Yeah. I mean, I basically spent almost a week in New York and did a bunch of Seinfeld related stuff, and I've been wanting to catch you up on everything. You called the other day and you're asking all the details. I'm like, no. Let's save it for the podcast. I'll fill you in.
We're going to do it live.
Exactly. Well, in general, Greg has recently taken a social media break. So I feel like, in a good way, often I'm posting things and he doesn't know about it. And the good thing about that for the podcast is I get to see your live reaction.
I'll get back someday, but it's been a nice break. So,
well, as I mentioned last week, I got to spend a week in New York. Main event that I was going to was a Seinfeld night with a couple of the Seinfeld actors from the show.
Okay.
It was originally going to be 4.
And then there were 2.
Fred Stoller dropped out like a few days before. I'm not sure why. And then the day of, unfortunately, Larry Thomas, who plays the Soup Nazi, was having some health issues and was not able to make it. So kind of a unfortunate situation, but I will say at the top of my list was Kenny Bania, and then second was Peterman. So I'm happy that they were still there and were able to make it out. And it was a blast, and it was very cool to be sitting with Bania directly. It was interesting because originally I feel like it was only going to be myself, my girlfriend Elaine, and this guy that we met before Steve sat down. I'm just going to, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to say Bania or Kenny instead of going back and forth between their real names and their fake names.
Sure.
But essentially, before Bania sat down, we met this guy, Ron, who seemed like he was close to our age and just as big a Seinfeld nerds as us, and, just immediately hit it off.
Like the guy you met is another person like at the event, right? Like not
Correct.
Affiliated with. Okay. Yeah.
He's just like us, just someone that bought a ticket to come enjoy the thing.
Yeah.
And basically he, confirmed what we did, or we agreed it was like $100 for general admission or an extra $25 to sit at a specific table with somebody. And it was just like a no-brainer. Yeah. Like, why would you spend $100 to sit at a random table when you could spend $125 to sit with whoever you want to sit with?
Okay. Seems like they didn't have their pricing set correctly, but continue.
Yeah. So I think it was just going to be us 3 and Bania, But then they announced, that the Larry Thomas, the soup Nazi, couldn't make it. So they moved us to a table, and then another group of like 5 or 6 people joined us that were supposed to be with the soup Nazi, and just kind of added us to Bania's table. And then everybody else, I'm assuming some were general admission and the rest were all chose to sit with Peterman. So Peterman's table was definitely the more popular of the group, essentially.
Okay.
I just figured there would be a better distribution, like 8, 6, 7, 5 or something like that. But it seemed like it was 3, 5, 15. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To Peterman. But anyway, not that really matters. But the good thing about it is it just felt like we were at the smaller, more intimate table, where his, like, I'm sure many people didn't even get a question in because there's just so many people chirping at Peterman or whatever it may be.
Sure.
And then when we sat down at first, the only seat available was right next to me. And I'm like, oh, he's going to sit right next to me. And then one of the ladies from the soup Nazi group was like, oh, actually, I'm going to sit over there. And she sat next to me. And at first I thought it was like a negative thing. But the thing is she actually opened up the chair right across from me. So I actually got to sit directly across from Kenny Bania, which to me actually was better than having to kind of turn sideways the whole time. But all in all, it was like perfect. We had plenty of time to talk. I feel like there was only, besides the guy Ron that was sitting across that we talked earlier, and the lady that ended up sitting next to me, the rest of the group like basically didn't say anything the whole time. So I felt like it was just 3 people rotating questions and being able to get some like really cool insight to certain things. And
nice.
There was definitely stuff that I already knew because I've listened to a bunch of his interviews that was, him just, revealing behind the scenes stuff. But there was also just very interesting things. Like I didn't realize that in real life, Michael Richards is about 5 or 6 inches taller than Steve Hytner.
Okay.
And in that scene where he buys his suit off of him, in order to make it look believable that they were the same suit size, he literally was in like 4 or 5 inch lifts. So he's wearing like big old block shoes so that he looks close to the height of Kramer.
It's funny.
Little stuff like that it was just like, oh, you don't even think about that. But it makes sense because since, Kramer's so much taller and bigger.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, there's plenty of other stories that I think most people have heard. Like in order to get the role, he was in the audition and like could hear other people auditioning because the walls are so thin. And all it was written is, this is the most annoying character in the world. And most people were just playing it super angry. And he kind of decided on the spot, not only do I want to stand out, but angry can only be funny for so long. So he like switched it to be, I'm going to be annoyingly adoring Jerry, and just like almost like a puppy dog who's just like super excited to spend time with his owner or whatever. So just little stuff like that. It was just fun to hear the insight,
his mindset or whatever.
Yeah. And I asked him about Curb. He did the table read when they did the Seinfeld reunion. He had like a super small part where they're all doing the table read, and he's talking about like, hey, Jerry, this is rough out there in this economy. He's like, you weren't working in the good economy. Like, yeah, I guess that's right. Or whatever. Like he just had that fun little part in that spot.
Yeah.
He was just basically saying everybody from the show that worked on the show regularly said, this is not a good example of what this show normally is, because there was just all this extra attention because of the Seinfeld reunion show. Like in addition, like they had like NBC people there and all these behind the scenes people there, plus fake people playing like they're a producer on the show, where normally when the show is shot, it's just very loose and improvised and a small crew. But instead it just felt nothing, like he was saying, that everybody was saying like, you should be on an episode that's not like this, because this is not normally what this set is like.
Yeah.
But little stuff like that. But overall, I was just, Elaine basically said that she's never seen me so excited. Like I could just imagine I was basically George with Tony, just like, oh, I'm so excited for everything. I'm just hanging on your every word. And it was just funny that I've probably worked with, I don't even know how many different celebrities that I feel like most people would be excited about, but
Sure.
I'm way more excited about, a side character on Seinfeld. And it just made
Yeah.
me feel even more excited about pursuing this project of, all right, these are the people I want to work with. These are the people I want to interact with. And these are the people I want to do cool content with. So
For sure. I have to ask though, did you use the "that's gold" line at any point during dinner?
I think maybe I might have, but then he was definitely talking about it. Like it got brought up organically through
Okay.
people. He was talking about the creative process of, the difference of where it is on when they write a script, and then like compared to any other show he was on, he said that the writers give you freedom to kind of like try out different things, and in like once it's actually the time to shoot, they want you to kind of stick to the script, but between the table read and shoot night, they're kind of working out the characters, and there's lots of rewrites. And he was saying that between his first episode and his last episode, because I guess that cadence of like, that's gold, Jerry, gold, or the best, Jerry,
Sure.
the best, like having that, like the that's gold, Jerry Gold is actually his last episode, when he's the mentor, Jerry's mentoring him, and he's dating the girl who's a mentor mentee or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically between that, every episode they tried to squeeze in that cadence, but at a certain point he was kind of like, I feel like this is going to get old. We shouldn't just keep doing the same joke over and over and over again. But for that's gold, Jerry Gold, it was perfect. And he was happy that they were able to bring it back.
Okay.
I was hoping that there would be more one-on-one time with the different people, but it was essentially like a ton of time with Bania for dinner, and then take a quick picture with the two of them and yourself.
Sure.
And then that was kind of it. So I didn't really have any personal interactions with Peterman. But between the two actors, I definitely feel like we got the right one. Like, not only have I preferred Bania as a character, but it seemed like between the two, he was way more personable and intimate and wanted to answer questions, where it seemed like John O'Hurley's side was just like, because there's so many people, he was just telling stories to the group as opposed to asking questions and responding directly to stuff. Sure. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to ask as many questions if I was at his table, essentially.
Yeah. He was probably being more like Peterman and just, telling stories.
Exactly. He did like a Peterman style monologue to like the group and just like told this 2 or 3 minute story.
Nice.
All in character or whatever.
Nice.
The guy, Ron, that I met, I was telling him my idea for starting a podcast and the channel and whatnot. And before I could bring up, have you heard of Matt and Vinnie from Seincast? He brought it up and said like, oh, they're the best. Like, I haven't heard anybody since them that's been as good.
For sure.
And it was just kind of like, I guess, further validation of there's a need and desire for a new quality Seinfeld podcast. And
sure,
I feel like I'm probably going to bring them up once a podcast or something, just because they've influenced me so much to want to do this podcast. But it's just nice to know that there's people that want that same style of podcast.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But had a blast. It was one of the more fun, kind of, like I said, celebrity style things I've ever been a part of, and made me excited for the future.
Cool.
I'm curious, on that note, if you were to pick let's call it a top 4 Mount Rushmore of Seinfeld side characters besides the main 4, who do you think would be on your Mount Rushmore?
I know maybe it's cliche, but Putty is number 1 in terms of side character. I don't know. I love how stupid he is. And I think his voice is like something that you'll hear him play like he's played multiple, cartoon characters in movies or shows. And it's like, as soon as you hear his voice, it's like, all right, I know that's Putty, like immediately. Whatley, I would say, is number 2. He became, like Bryan Cranston, became such a huge like actor afterwards is part of it. But I still remember the interview that he did when he was describing like the scene where he took the gas and like took a hit of it and then explained that, oh, it was one of the sound guys that like gave him the idea, and just his reaction and how open he was about that. I don't know. I just really liked his character I loved, but then his personal aspect of that was, I think, pretty cool. I like Mike, who gets his thumbs slammed in the trunk.
Oh, I was like, who's Mike? Mike Moffat.
His reaction during that episode is just classic. How pathetic he is as a bookie. I just loved that. Like, I don't know. He's the last person you would expect to be a bookie. And then the fact that like Kramer's like, is this what you do to like when someone doesn't pay up? Like, Jerry, I don't know. I just love that. I don't know, that aspect of it. And then I know it's Larry David, but Steinbrenner. And I love the storyline behind that, where they actually brought in the real George Steinbrenner and tried to have him play himself in the show. And he was like so bad that they were just like, nah, it's better just to show the back of some random person's head and have Larry David voice it over. It's just, I don't know. It's just a funny aspect of it. And I just remember Larry, like in an interview, describing the phone call he had to make to the actual George Steinbrenner, like basically like, yeah, dude, you didn't make the cut. He's just like, it's okay. I understand.
You could tell me. I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say I'm surprised you didn't include my number one. Well, him and Putty are probably tied for 1 and 2. Is Frank Costanza is my number one. So I'd probably go Frank Costanza, David Putty, Kenny Bania, and then I feel like when I was younger and the DVDs were first coming out, or at least when I got to his episodes, Jackie Chiles was always my number 4. But to your point, after I've watched more Curb and appreciated Larry, Steinbrenner definitely, I think, took that number 4 spot.
All right, that's fair.
But yeah, Jackie Chiles is in there. Bryan Cranston is Tim Watley's more like, these are more on my 5 through 10. But yeah, those guys are cusp honorable mention type guys.
Sure.
Besides that, Peterman's also in that 5 to 10 range. Yeah, he's up there. So basically, yeah, that was towards the beginning of the trip. It was like the second day we were there was that dinner. And then I ended up randomly picking up a shift from one of these. I'm like part of different Facebook groups and stuff. And someone was like, hey, I need somebody to help me shoot this thing in Brooklyn. So it was a purely kosher cooked meals for the hospital.
Okay.
But in my mind, I'm just like,
a tempting schmear of authentic Jewish delicacies.
The whole Kramer cooking for Jewish singles night is definitely how it felt.
For
like
sure.
All these just different, very specific Jewish dishes, especially having a huge kitchen full of stuff just going at once. It just reminded me of that scene of, oh shit. And he's dropping everything. And he's just like, oh, it tastes like dirt. Oh, I dropped it on the way over here.
Yeah, I can't remember what the dish was, but he's like, oh, try this. And Joe's just like, this is horrible. Kurt's like, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah. It's like creme block or something like that.
Oh,
but after that, one of my favorite memories is it was like the week just kind of like flew by, and then it came down to it's the last day and I have plans tonight to shoot stuff at the Knicks game. Let me try to squeeze in as many Seinfeld shoots as I can. And not only did I know you want to do the Tom's Restaurant thing, but I knew that I wanted to at least go introduce myself to the owner because I want to interview him. So I figured, I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'll go get a cup of coffee and go say what's up. So I popped over to Tom's Restaurant, introduced myself, told him about a couple ideas that I had to shoot, and he was totally on board. And then, well, two things happened. Well, this happened to me twice. So first, I forgot to mention on Monday or Tuesday, I got dropped off on the subway, and I was close to Rockefeller Plaza or Rockefeller Center Plaza or whatever it's called, where NBC is. So I wanted to go take a picture outside of, it's called the Rainbow Room, but it's basically whenever Jerry and George are pitching to NBC, they'll cut to like a shot of this NBC thing, and I'll pull it up on the screen so you can get a visual of what I'm referring to.
All right.
I don't know if that looks familiar, but they'll basically cut to a shot of this whenever
Okay. Yeah.
they're pitching
Yep.
to NBC essentially. So I'm out here and I asked probably 5 or 6 different people like, hey, can you take a picture of me? Hey, can you take a picture of me? It was just such a no.
And everyone was like, fuck you.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm trying to like sell them something or scam them or whatever. I'm like, I'm just trying to get a picture. Can somebody please just take a picture of me real quick?
That's funny.
But it worked out in a good way because the person that I did ask, I was like, oh, of course, I'll help you. Like, go do this. Now do strike a pose. All right, now go look over here to the right.
Yeah,
Basically, it was worth the wait because I got the right person to take a picture of me, essentially.
Yeah. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, exactly. And then almost identically the same exact thing happened, but even better at Tom's restaurant. I'm asking all these people to take a picture, just keep getting denied. And then all of a sudden this girl walks up named Nicole and she's just like, hey, I'll take your picture. Oh, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. Can you take a picture of me too? Like, yeah, of course. And start chatting. And then I was like, I just started a podcast with my brother and a YouTube channel. I'm going to start documenting, all the different Seinfeld locations. And she's like, no way. Oh my gosh. Have you heard of Matt and Vinnie and Seincast? Oh, I miss those guys. Oh, like,
it's cool.
I feel like since they've stopped, there hasn't been anybody that's done something like that. And then she was there with her dad named Dan. And I cannot believe I ran into these people where they said, we are here from Toronto. We came down just to do Seinfeld stuff. And she's like, oh, we just came back from 129 West 81st Street, like the address that he's at. Like, I know the exterior looks different, but we just went and took a picture there. And I'm like, oh, I'm going there next. And then her dad's like, oh, how you getting there? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm just going to go walk down the street or take the subway. And they're like, we got a car. You want us to,
you want to ride?
You want to ride? And it's like, I don't want to impose. Like, I don't want to do anything. It's just like, no, I mean, we're just here. We're just here to basically do this. So what do you have in mind? Like, what else are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I was going to go there. I wanted to go to like the original soup kitchen where the soup Nazi's based off of. Like, oh, that's right. We could do that. And then it was, oh, and also, I don't know if you know, there's a Mendy's restaurant too. They're like, no way. Well, let's go. By the way, the dad's like, I'm a filmmaker, so I can help you get some shots if you want. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. Cool. And then it was, we start cruising around and then they're just literally driving me from spot to spot, getting out, taking photos and videos of different locations. And then I start telling her about my idea for why I called it Seinfeld Fantasy Camp. Is like, I originally, like, in addition to the podcast, I want to make an actual Comic-Con style event that's just for Seinfeld. She's like, sure. Just so you know, that's what I do for a living. I'm an event coordinator and I put together events, and I was just, no way. If I do all this stuff for astronauts, and I did that. I don't know if it's through, I think it might've been through NASA or something like that. It was basically this huge event. And she's like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's what I don't have any idea how to do this. I know in my mind what I want to do, but I don't know anything about like choosing a venue and pricing things out and figuring out how to organize. She's like, yeah, that's pretty much all I do. And if I could do it for something Seinfeld related, oh my God, that would be a dream come true.
Awesome.
So essentially I found my event coordinator already.
Got some hookups now.
Exactly. And she's just as much of a diehard.
That's pretty crazy.
So in addition to the guy, Ron, I met at the dinner, and her, Nicole, it was just like all the right people were just popping up, and it was just further validation to go forward with this idea, and just cool to build a community around it and already get people that are wanting more content and not knowing how to make it or get it, but then wanting to contribute in different ways.
Sure.
So it was awesome. And then we even just like, as we're driving, it was like, oh, there's Pomodoro. That's where George and Kramer go, and Kramer breaks up with him. It's like the breakup restaurant or whatever.
The breakup restaurant.
Well, that's how they label it too. Like, oh, that's where everyone goes to break up. And then there's like a couple behind them, like breaking up or whatever.
Yeah.
So just drove around, did all that stuff. Then they asked what I was doing later. And I was like, oh, I was going to go down and shoot some content with the Knicks, trying to get people to say Seinfeld stuff. And it was like, can we help you out? It's like, sure. Like, if you want, I mean, I don't want to impose. You guys are here on vacation. It's like, I'm thinking of it as, I don't want to bug these people and ask for too much. Like, I feel bad that they're driving me around everywhere. But then as time went by, I felt the opposite. It was like I was giving them more than what they want. They wanted a Seinfeld experience. And I basically was in real time, doing what I want to eventually do long term and getting like a feel for what people want and what people are into. And because she was such a diehard, a lot of the things I was pitching and telling her, she was all about. And like, it just, I don't know. I know I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but it was just kind of further like, yeah, this is a good idea. People are into this, and I'm happy to try to put the pieces together and figure out a way to make it a reality.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
So there was that. And then I don't even know where to start with the Knicks stuff. Maybe I'll just play a little video to get things rolling. But this is now officially our You Gotta Love Sports section. And how could it not be all about, how about those Knicks?
It's got to be about the Knicks.
I mean, they just won their first championship.
What, in 50-something years or something?
Yeah, I think it was in the 70s last time they won. So it was quite the environment, to say the least. So went out pregame with them. They ended up having to go to dinner. So they took off like a little bit before the game started. And then I just went by myself and started interviewing people. And then I went back to the hotel to watch the game. And I don't know, did you watch any of the finals?
I did, yeah. A couple of the games. I didn't see game 5, but I think I saw like the first, the third, and the fourth game, but I didn't watch game 5.
Yeah, well, game 4 was the one where they were down 29 points and came back. But even then, I'm like, the whole time I'm watching the game, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out if they win. But if they lose, like after game 3, after they lost, there was just chaos in the streets. People were just destroying stuff. I mean, it seems like after every game, there's people destroying stuff. But I basically said, there's no way I'm going out there if they lose.
Sure.
But if they win, and especially like any win, I would have gone back out. But then once they were down that much and coming back, like the whole fourth quarter, like I the second and third quarter, I'm getting in sweats and chilling. I'm like, there's no way they're coming back from this game. Like, I'm not going out. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the third and the fourth, they're coming back. And I'm like, could it happen? Oh, damn, I need to put my shoes back on. I need to get my camera ready. I got to do this. And then it's like, once they won, then I just like went out there and it was just madness.
Oh, dude, I'm sure. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't even imagine after that comeback. I mean, dude, that was an epic game to begin with, but like the, timing, like what was crazy for me about that is I was like, I was watching the game and I'm like, I don't know if this has ever happened, but if the Spurs would have won, I think it would have been the first time it like home court like swapped the first 4 games, right? It was like the Knicks won the first 2 games in San Antonio, and then like, all right, would they have they would have won the 2 games in New York, it would have been like, okay, this is like the craziest home court advantage swap, at least for finals, that I've ever seen. Normally, like, all right, you're on the road, you win the first 2 games, it's over, and it was almost to the point where it was like, oh no, it's back even. So
yeah, and then on top of it, Jerry and Larry were at the game.
Were they really?
And there's so many other random, I think her name's Marissa Hargitay or whatever. She's known for Law and Order, but basically she auditioned for Elaine. She's the one that's like, oh, it's like a bald convention in there. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, he knows he's bald.
Yeah.
She was at the game sitting next to Larry. It was John McEnroe from the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode with the Freak Book.
The Freak Book.
There were so many other, maybe not major characters, but just connections to Seinfeld. So it's pretty exciting on that point.
Oh, it's just such a great night. Oh.
But I think now's a good time to show you my little highlight clips from
Let's see it.
the experience. So here it goes.
How about those Knicks?
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 Those Knicks,
Let's
baby.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in motherfucking 5. Let's go.
Knicks in 5!
Knicks in 5.
We are going to the Knicks game.
We're going to the Knicks game! We're going to the Knicks game!
Going to the Knicks game.
All right, we made it. Game 4. We gonna do it for Jerry?
Let's win this one for Jerry.
Let's win it for Jerry.
Yo, let's win it for Jerry and let's win it for New York, yeah?
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Let's go New York! Knicks in 5!
If you don't like Seinfeld, fuck you.
Yeah, I like Seinfeld, like it very much.
You got any favorite moments?
The marine biologist contest, the lawyer, it's outrageous. They're real and they're spectacular, baby. And Knicks in 5, baby, Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5! Knicks in 5!
Fuck Knicks in 5! This is how much I love the Knicks.
Oh, Knicks organization! I fucking love you! Knicks in fucking 5!
Hey, don't ever count the Knicks out of a fight. It's Knicks in 5. We got one more, baby. Let's go.
We was down 30. They counted us out. But we got Jalen Brunson. We got OG. Knicks in fucking 5.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
How about those Knicks?
How about those names?
Wow. That's all I have to say about that. Knicks in motherfucking 5.
The fact that they did it in 5, like I was sitting there game 5, I'm like, I just hope they win for the sake of my video because because Knicks in 6 doesn't, I mean, it has a nice ring to it, but compared to my video, I want those Knicks in motherfucking 5.
That must have been pretty intense.
And keep in mind, I had to leave the hotel at about 4:30 in the morning the next day, and was just so lost. Like, because East Coast time, the game starts at 8:30, ends at like 11:30. By the time it's done, I just went straight out, just having a blast, shooting for hours, and then all of a sudden, I look at my clock. I'm like, it's 1:45 in the morning. I still have to go back to the hotel and pack. And I didn't sleep that night.
In the morning, did you wake up and say to Elaine, "I'm on no sleep"? No sleep. Yeah. Everything's creeping. The red light is burning my brain.
That's exactly how it felt.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just so dead that whole next day. It was like the high and the excitement from the game and everybody and interviewing people. And I mean, I had an hour and a half of footage that I cut down to 2 minutes.
Wow.
If the page was about shock value and how many people can you get to say the most vulgar, craziest shit, I could have made a hour plus long video, but 90% of it is just mother this and blah, 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 we got this. Like, it's just so much.
Oh yeah.
As you can imagine, just people like, camera, microphone, I'm wasted. Give it to me. I'm just going to say the most ridiculous things about Wemby and the Spurs and then talk about how perfect my team is. But hey, let them ride.
This is what you do.
I was digging it. And I'm happy that I borrowed a Knicks hat as well as had a Seinfeld shirt that was orange and blue because it definitely
Helped your cause.
Help my cause, not only for people not wanting to beat me up like so many of these Spurs fans that just got their asses kicked, but just like, oh, you're one of us. I can talk on camera for your thing. Like, I want to give you content because you're a Knicks fan, even though I'm not. But at the moment I was.
Got the street cred.
Exactly. A couple people would like come up to me saying, oh my God, I like your Seinfeld shirt. And then I was like, oh, you want to say something on camera about Seinfeld? And
nice.
Whether it be, if you're not a Seinfeld fan, fuck you. Or that one guy was legitimately like talking about his favorite episodes. And I'm like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Everybody else is just excited about talking about the Knicks, of course. Like, especially if people didn't know what to say. Like, I'm like, start talking about the Knicks. And then I might prompt you to say something like, how about those Knicks? Or let's do it for Jerry, or whatever it may be.
Cool.
It was a good time to be in the area. And I feel like compared to most NBA championships, just the length of time between their last championship, the size of the city, it was
perfect timing.
Yeah, maybe it was my perception because I was there and doing a Seinfeld channel, and there were so many memes the next day of just Larry and Jerry at the game and reacting and all this different stuff. And the last two games, it was like they blew a 29 and a 16-point lead, and some of the best memes were like, you see, Spurs, you know how to take a lead, you just don't know how to hold the lead. The holding of the lead is the most important part.
Anyone could just take them.
Just
That's
like,
good.
yeah, all that type of stuff. Like there's just so many just great content that came earlier. You mentioned this because I said this is the one that I had to send to you because it was just so perfect. But I felt it was also good timing for hanging out with Kenny Bania the night before. But this is one of my favorite memes related to current events as possible. So we just got a picture of Jerry and Kenny on the couch and a picture of Madison Square Garden, and it says, "Why is it called Madison Square Garden? The building's round, the walls are round. It should be called Madison Round Garden." That's gold, Jerry. Gold.
So good.
Uh,
I don't know who comes up with this shit, but I don't know. I remember that. It was perfect.
But yeah, there was just an endless supply of content that came out of it because of Larry and Jerry being at the game and reacting and stuff. And I feel like they were getting all kinds of attention. They actually played on the big screen at Madison Square Garden. They showed Jerry and George going, "We're going to the Knicks game," like yelling at each other. And then it cut to Jerry like in his seat, like waving, which was pretty cool.
For sure.
And then there was all kinds of Larry reacting to made or missed shots. And there's I guess the Spurs coach was frequently standing in front of Larry because he was like on the floor seats, like next to the Spurs bench. And there's just all these shots of Larry just like, what the hell? I can't see anything. I paid all this money for these tickets and this coach is just right in front of my face the whole time. But
awesome, man.
Yeah, I also did the whole Suit Man experience. Got my No Suit for You little mug as well
Official?
as Suit for Me. I also got a which I'm drinking out of now is my Tom's Restaurant mug.
Oh, nice.
It's like a nice little thing.
You got to back it up a little. It's out of focus. Right there. Nice. All right.
So got that going. And then I got you a little something too.
You got me something? All right. Well, now I got my swag.
Got you a Tom's Restaurant shirt.
Nice.
I was gonna just get us both one, and lately I've been more of a medium versus a large, and I wanted to get the same color, and they only had large, and they didn't have medium. And at first I was just like, should I just squeeze into a large?
Squeeze.
How about I get or not squeeze? Should I be baggy on a large? But then I'm like, how about I just get one? I'll take it home. If it's too big, I'll give that one to Greg, and then when we're back in a month, then I'll get myself a medium.
Get the other one.
Is that technically a regift?
I think so.
He's a regifter.
Okay, I can call it a regift, right? Because if it fit me, then I would have just got you one when we were there. But since it didn't fit me, you get that one, and then I'll get. Hopefully, they'll have mediums by the time I get there.
All right.
And then one last Seinfeld random coincidence. If we can recreate this at some point, it'd be kind of cool. But I recently had a piece of film equipment. I don't know if it was stolen or something. I went and came back and it was gone from this one hotel. And I had to get one. And they were actually cheaper on Facebook Marketplace in New York than they were in California. So I was like, oh, I'll just get one when I'm there. And I had already talked to somebody like, hey, can I pick one up on Sunday when I'm there or whatever?
Yeah.
Then that person sold it. So then I had to look for a new one. And even though it wasn't a garage sale, I think Facebook Marketplace is a modern day garage sale. And of all the places that I had to travel to get it, it was in Parsippany, New Jersey. So I went to Parsippany, New Jersey, where mom and pop sold Jerry's shoes at a garage sale. Unfortunately, the best way to get there was by train, but I kind of wish I could have taken the bus like Kramer and Jerry did when they went to New Jersey.
The bus.
I don't know if you know, but that's like a remake scene of Midnight Cowboy.
I'm falling apart here.
No, when he's in the back and he gets his nosebleed or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm falling apart here.
That's like a shot-by-shot recreation when he's holding him on the bus. So if we ever take the bus from New York to Parsippany, we got to recreate that scene.
We got to recreate it. Okay.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the trip.
I'll just say this. It seems like it was pretty epic. And there's a lot of signs, as they will say. Like, it seems like the dinner went awesome. The fact that you ran into random people that were also kind of doing the same thing you were doing. And then that game 4 madness is just complete chaos and awesome experience. So seems like fun. Sorry I missed it, and looking forward to when we head out next. So
obviously we talked about the 1st of August, which is a Saturday, is the game. And the Brooklyn Cyclones actually play like on Coney Island. So I feel like
nice.
We should definitely get there early and ride the Cyclone and get a Nathan's hot dog. And maybe it's funny. I saw a video of, I wonder if I could just pull it up. Give me one sec.
You're good.
This might be too complicated, but I love how somebody took the time to put this together, showing how ridiculous Kramer's suggestion on how to get to Coney Island on the subway is.
All right, Coney Island. Okay, you can take the B or the F and switch for the N at Broadway and Lafayette. Or you can go over the bridge to DeKalb and catch the Q to Atlantic Avenue and then switch to the IRT. 2, 3, 4, or 5. But don't get on the G. See, that's very tempting, but you wind up on Smith and 9th Street, then you got to get on the R.
Couldn't you just take the D straight to Coney Island?
Well, yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's like, what about that route was better? Can't you just take the D straight to Coney Island?
Oh, yeah.
But we could either take the D straight, or it would be interesting to
actually take Kramer's route
and see how lost we get.
It would be pretty funny, to be honest. We took it and filmed it and then did like a time lapse of that versus the actual D straight to Coney Island.
But don't get on the G. It's like we could start to get on the G and then stop. But don't do that. It's very tempting. But but besides that, I feel like we should definitely make a day of Coney Island and the actual game. But just want to give kind of like an overview of where we're at with everything. Like basically, hopefully within a couple of weeks, we will get on schedule to regularly say, all right, on this night is when we're going to aim to record. And then within 24 hours, I can edit the footage and put it out. But I know after last episode, we said we were going to cover the pilot episode, but there was just so much to discuss with this New York trip that I didn't want to have our listeners wait 45 minutes before we even got into the episode. And I'm already dragging right now anyway. And I definitely wouldn't have had the energy to go into a full episode after doing that recap. So just wanted to give a general overview that, yeah, we're behind and everything's all over the place, but we're definitely going to get into a consistent groove of things going forward. And hopefully when we talk about current events, they're current instead of a week old. But thought this was a nice little recap since that New York trip had so much going on. And just want to give a shout out to Ron and Nicole, my new friends from my New York trip. And hopefully they'll be out on future adventures. They even, at least Nicole and her dad are like, anytime you're out here, let us know. We'd love to come down for any Seinfeld events. So
nice.
I hope in time, like anything, as this gets bigger, we're going to need somebody to help us with graphic design for logos. And I'm already like, I want to create some original song for the intro so that we're not getting stuff taken away for using the Seinfeld theme and whatnot.
Yeah.
As much as we can build this community and empower people that are already kind of maybe have skills to contribute this and help promote their business and ideally have it all around Seinfeld fans. I mean, that's the dream. So if anybody's listening to this that wants to help out with either what we're doing from a podcast standpoint or some of these videos, like if people want to come out to the shoots and come join the party, please reach out. And I think my new goal after hearing multiple people bring up Matt and Vinnie is to somehow get them on the podcast, whether it be a one-time thing, a live show, so some of the fans can interact with you guys because
they got the following.
They have the following and everybody loves them and everybody misses them. And if somehow this podcast got them to at least make an appearance and come say hi on a podcast version or in person at the Brooklyn Cyclones game or any of these things, Matt and Vinnie, if you're listening, everybody misses you. So please come back.
Come back.
Once they went off, they came back and did an episode where they were like, we're thinking about doing a Patreon and coming back. What do people think? Would you guys be interested in? And I immediately just sent this. Just a picture of Kramer with his Kenny come back to Kenny Rogers. And I just put Seincast over it. Just Seincast, come back.
It's good.
We need you. But yeah, I mean, it just, to me, I feel like they have such an amazing following, and I feel like they did not know how. They're almost so nice that I feel like they just didn't want to have advertisements or any way of like feeling like they were asking for money or support. I mean, they did have like a donations thing, but I could just seeing how much work I've been putting into this thing. This is like basically a full-time job if you want to do it right. And I can understand getting like burned out if there's not any form of sustainability, but
For sure.
I don't know. I feel like they're doing themselves and the fans a disservice by like not trying to find a way to monetize off of what they're doing to be able to like keep it going. So
For sure.
whatever it may be, I hope that we can inspire them to at least make an appearance every now and then and give the people what they want. So
For sure.
shout out Matt and Vinny. We miss you guys. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Let's wrap this up, and hopefully this week we'll go and record our first final normal episode recap of the pilot episode. So got anything else?
That's it for me.
So long, jackass.
So long, jackass.